Hey, this is War Dog coming to you from Prince Rupert, BC in Canada. This is my first year 2 battle. It's the Battle of the Dogs. It's War Dog versus Hunt Like David. And this is our first hunt together. And Hunt Like David, he did very well this first round here. Germany won most of the rolls for BC France. As a matter of fact, they got all 4 BC France territories in Africa that were worth $1 each, and he also did well throughout the whole table. So yeah, it's an interesting game. But I got to talk to you about what Russia's opening moves will be. There's a few things they can do. They can immediately go into China if they wish to. They can go into northern Manchuria, but of course, if they did walk in there with the new rules of Ultra 8.1, that would mean Japan would automatically get 5 infantry in Tokyo. And of course, if you wait for Japan to attack Russia first, then the Mongolian forces become Russia. So maybe not so smart to do right off the hop. You may notice I have some white wingtips on some of my planes. Those are for transport planes. And in Germany, I've painted my veteran fighters, have red tips. And the yellow tank in Paris, the yellow turret, that's a light tank, yellow meaning light. And Russia has a few light tanks they start out with as well, in Stalingrad, and I believe it's Kiev. So just pause this for a moment and I'll grab my cue
So
stick.
purchases for round 1 for CCP in Russia, very easy decision for CCP. They have $3. They'll buy 1 infantry for $3. Now, Russia only starts with $15, 15 IPP to start with. Not a lot. Next rounds I'll have a lot more money. But for now, I'm gonna buy 2 elite guards, and of course they defend at a 5 instead of a 4. You can buy 2 per round starting right away, so it's a must to buy 2 elite guards. And then I'm gonna buy 1 artillery and 1 mech, saving $1.
All right, so what Russia's gonna do is Germany activated, they brought a unit into Finland. So we can battle it out in the Straits of Finland. This was a Finnish destroyer that's now aligned with Germany. But Russia's going to take that out, and we're also going to go into the Baltic states. We'll go in with our 2 cavalry and a man and a few planes, and we'll also bring a few planes into this battle here. So I'll set up my battle board here and we'll start rolling. Oh, the other thing you may have noticed is the elite guard for Russia. I painted a red tip on top of their helmets, so I know those elite guards. You can purchase 2 per turn, and they defend at a 5, but they only defend at a 5 when you're in Russia. So if you happen to bring those elite guards into Finland or into Iran or into China, they would defend at a 4. All right, let's get the board set up for my very first rolls in this wonderful game we call Global 39. You notice here my kids painted or drew a little picture of War Dog. This is actually our family dog. We absolutely love her. It's a good it's a good representation of what our dog looks like, and that's how I came up with the name War Dog. She's a very peaceful dog, nothing about war. And I love the way Hunt Like David does it. Just a simple sheet of paper divided into 9 spots where you can put each unit so you know what you're rolling for, and then of course he's able to show you what you're rolling. Okay, so I will get it set up here now. So into the Baltic states here, we have 2 defending at a 4. I'm going to bring my 2 cavalry in from Belarusia. They attack at a 3, I believe. And 1 infantry at a 2. and I'm going to bring a attack bomber and a fighter. That's a 1, 2, 3, 3, and they still have 2 spaces to fly afterwards. So I'll check here what that's at, but I think that might be a 6 and a 7. Most nations are. Certainly the Americans are, but every country is sometimes a little bit different here. So yeah, my starter fighter here with Russia, the I-16, it actually only attacks at a 5, and the attack bomber is a 7. So that's good to know. All right, so that's going to be at a 5. And do I want to bring anything else in there? Let's have a look here. I think I'll bring 1 light tank from Russia. And the light tanks for Russia attack at a 5. Sorry, they actually only attack at a 4. But with attack, they go up to a 5, and I do have attack here, so that's great. Okay. So I'll start from high and go low. So looking for a 7. A hit, 1 hit, and now 2 5s. And that looks like, yeah, that's too high. That's a 6 and a 10. And now I have 2 3s to go for. Both missed. And a 2. Miss. Oh, goodness. Okay, so now, hunt like David, the Baltic states, they get to come back with 2 4 or lesses. And they get a hit, so we'll take a man off of each. The attack at a 7, missed. 2 5s, and a 1 and 8. We got it. Okay, so now a 4 for the Baltic states, or less, they missed. Okay, that's great. So one thing I've noticed in my play group, they really like me not to fly the planes back to where they need to be until it's done. And that's a Global 39 thing. In Global 36, I think it's fantastic. Rather than, the planes are in my hand right now, I know they're going to end up in Leningrad. Why wouldn't I just put them in Leningrad right now as opposed to a non-combat move? I guess that's a really good question I'll have to ask some of the experts who've been playing this game for, well, since it came out in like 2010, guys like Garchuan and General Hand Grenade and Triple Crown. Hey guys, post a message. Why can't I just put these planes in Leningrad right now? Why do I want to put them back in the Baltic states and then when I do the non-combat move, put them in Leningrad? So they have 2 spaces to go. Do that. All right, and the other combat move is destroyer on destroyer, and I'm bringing in this fighter here and the other fighter as well. So that's 2 fighters, which don't attack at a very high rate now, do they? Not in this game. So 4 and 4 on the destroyers, and I guess these are early war fighters for Russia, and they're called the I-16 fighters, and they're attacking at a 5. Okay. All right, so the blue dice are the 5s, and the red dice is the 4 for me here. So, 2 hits, great. Okay, and now for the Finns, they can rebut at 4 or less. 7. Okay, great. So that is done. And now I will put these in non-combat. I'll put them right into Leningrad here. I'm going to put these 2 planes into Leningrad. I'll take my combat markers away here. And I'm going to do my, I guess we should do the non-combat moves for where we are on the board here right now. So the train can move, the train for Russia can move 4 spaces. And just going to have a look to see how many units they can move at once. I believe it's 4 for Germany and maybe 3 for Russia. Let's have a quick look. So I'm just flipping to the unit section here. Sorry it takes so long. Well, maybe it's under the special features of Russian. Sure it is. Armored train. Limit 2 in gameplay. During the non-combat movement phase, the train can transport any 3 ground units up to 4 spaces that you've controlled since the start of your turn. The train performs similar to a bus. Each land area it travels through may stop to unload or load more units for transport. This unit does not attack but defend at 2. Okay, so it works like a bus and we can move 3 units. So I'll just, I'll adjust the camera here a little bit. And I'm gonna, I guess let's just see where my train is right now. Oh, so my train's in the eastern capital here, Novosibirsk. So I was hoping I was going to move things in the west, but it's way over there. And Russia starts with 1, but you could buy another one if you want to. So okay, so let's start over here then. So for non-combat moves, I'll move this tank over 2. Actually, I'll move 2 tanks over 2. Move these 2 men down. And move my artillery over 2. Great. And I will fly these can only go 4 spaces. They work as a bomber and a transport plane for Russia. The benefit is they work as a light bomber as well. The downside is they go 4 instead of 6, which a lot of other countries do. But at the airbase, I can go 5 spaces, so that's good. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll drop him off. The other one will go into Leningrad. My train can take 3 units, so I'll just break out those men there real quick. I'm thinking in future videos maybe I should have some music playing in the background. Alright, so I'll just change the chip there for... Oh, by the way, my chips are green represents 3, white of course is 1. My red chips are 5 and blue chips are 10. And in a future video, I'm going to talk to you about what these translucent green chips are all about. You see these here? There's strategic objectives in this game, And there's 20 resource cities around the globe, including in Brazil, the Great Plains, Alberta. You can see some in the far reaches there of Russia, Manchuria, even Kashmir. And if the Axis control 12 of the 20 at the end of round 15, that's a strategic victory point for them. So I just have those on here. My play partner Rich has absolutely everything for a global war for Axis and Allies. He's got his complete kit here, so I put them out on the board, and I think I might do a video on it to talk about what these 20 objectives are, but that's what one of them is. All right, so I'm gonna move the train four spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm gonna move 2 men and a tank. Gonna move this mech up here, Novigrad, move those men over. Move a man that way there. Oh, actually, we just moved those, so obviously we can't move those. Okay, perfect. And I'm gonna move my other light tank into Leningrad. I'll move these 2 tanks into Leningrad. From Kiev, I'm gonna move my light tank here. My mech can take a artillery along with it that can go along, so I'll move 2 over there. And I'll move 3 men there, 2 men there, and this will go over as well too. And my fighters in Kiev, they can go 5 because of the air base. So 1, 2, 3, they're all going to go in Leningrad. And I guess I'll clean that up. I'll put that on plate later on. But that's pretty good. Oh, and Stalingrad, I have a light tank that'll move its way there. And I'll move the airborne over as well too. Okay, well that's a lot of moving around now, wasn't it? And now for income for Russia, they started with their starting income, if they don't gain or lose any territories, is 48. So I believe they're going to get 48, and I'll put those out in a moment. And now we'll just talk about CCP, and I don't believe they're going to do anything other than non-combat move. I see my opponent has left Shahar and Shanxi vacant, so it would just be an easy walk-in. However, CCP doesn't have many units, and they need to hang on to them. And to do a walk-in, sure, I'll gain $1, but I'll lose a man, and an infantry costs $3. And as you can see, they don't have many of them, so we'll just be doing non-combat this turn for them. Matter of fact, I'll do that right now since the camera's there. So we will move from all the units from Ping Lang, the 3 men, the cavalry will move over, and of course they purchased for $3 1 man, so I'll put that man in place. And Russia's purchased this turn around. They purchased 4 units. And I'm going to place one mech in Novosibirsk, and the other 3 units, which was the artillery and 2 elite guards, which I have my helmets painted red. I will place those in Leningrad as well. I'm just going to flop them in there, and then I'll clean it up later on. So that's our turn for Russia. Stay tuned for Great Britain coming up, and this is going to be fun because Great Britain is going to be able to use Poland.
Hey, quick update from my videos. Just playing it back, I realized I didn't have the fortification of Vladivostok. That protects against any amphibious assaults. But of course, if Japan wishes to go in via Amur or Manchuria, then that fortification is not effective. And also, just an update, Ultra 8.1 rules, Russia cannot invade into China until round 3. And if and when they do, Japan would immediately receive 5 infantry in Tokyo. One other small change is on my setup board, I accidentally had 2 fighters in Kiev. In the non-combat move, I moved 2 pieces into Stalingrad. Of course, only in the initial setup, there's just 1 plane in Kiev, so I made sure that came off the board. All right, looking forward to Great Britain, Commonwealth, Anzac, Canada, South Africa coming up next.